already, so I'll probably be smashed really fast. But I'll try to
Eric,
give you guys...
1 sec, sorry. We are live now.
Yes, I know we're live.
Yeah, no. We just went live. There was a countdown that we needed to toggle here in YouTube. So I'm very sorry.
So hey everybody, we're finally live after all the struggles we had, and we're starting right away with this game stream already. So this is the new looks of our Battle Royale sample made with Fusion, and lets you choose characters to play with. I'm gonna go with this guy and a few other things that you already had, like setting up game settings and so on. But we have several different maps now, and we're going to be highlighting this procedurally generated map that is going to be what will be part of the distributable sample that will be for Gaming Circle subscribers. And Erick, who developed this, he prepared different sizes of it, so from 20 players, which is the one we're going to be playing today, up to 200 players, which is the showcase we always want to show. But I'm not going to create a map because we have an ongoing game with the other guys playing already on a dedicated server. I'll just join that. I'll probably be smashed really fast. But
Eric, could you turn down the background music? The chat is asking.
I'll try to. Let me see how I can do that. So, well, that will also go your... Let me try to do that for myself as well, because...
You can just do that via the Windows Audio Mixer.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. So... I think something like this is okay. And then the guys can still hear you, but the game audio is going to be not super loud. So let me know if it's fine now. Let's join the game, and I'm going to be commenting a few things. Let me see, I can still... And Tim is going to be taking questions from the chat and from our Discord channels that we set up for this. And he's going to be giving me some questions or answering himself, so he's free to answer anything, but I'll try to do my best. Because I know I'm not good at playing this, so... Let's see. Okay, let's join it. Guys are playing. So let's see how it goes. So, okay. Nobody's around here. So let's see if I can... Oh, damn, somebody's there. So I don't want him to see me. Because I want to see if I... Oh, damn, somebody else there. I'm gonna die. I need to find a weapon. I only have this pistol. So... Oh, no, not here.
Yeah,
oh,
if you want
to
keep alive, you'll have to do a bit better. I mean, while we're all good at games, our colleagues in terms of FPS and TPS are just miles ahead of the competition here.
Oh, no. No, not really. Okay, where I need to find one of the droppable weapon crates. Okay, this jump works. Right. Did not work. Come on, I need a weapon. I think the guys got everything already. And I'm gonna be out of luck soon. I'm just basically trying to avoid being killed. So this is the procedurally generated map. So it's so the idea is that it's actually quite interesting to play. And oh,
game over.
Okay, that was the end of the first round. We took some time to actually start, so I'll check if they're gonna start a new one, and then we're gonna be joining that as well. So check here with our internal. I'm checking here if we have a new server. So I think I can just wait here and we'll get a new server shown up here as soon as it started. Oh yeah, there it is. Oh, so we're gonna play in Battle Royale mode this time. I think it was Deathmatch last time, right?
Yes.
So let's join right away. I think this brings the plane drop. Yep. exactly. I can hear it already. Okay. Let's see how it goes. I know you guys can see this, but it's fine. I just want to make sure I see Tim as well.
So, I mean, the different...
This is blocking the minimap.
Of course, yeah.
Let me switch to this one here, so guys can see the minimap. Better, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, remind me, which modes did we actually add to the sample now so far? We got Battle Royale, we got Deathmatch. Do we have Freefall?
Elimination. Elimination.
Yeah.
Don't ask me what these mean.
Elimination, if I remember correctly,
oh,
is...
the guys are all jumping.
Just get kicked out.
Wow, just watch while they... And then I'll do it as well. So I'll go to this side. They're already all killing each other. And I already got damage to myself by jumping from above. Here, what did I get here? This. Okay. Got some shield. They have a shotgun, right? So this is not nice. Oh,
yeah, we have a shotgun, rifle.
Oh, we have the, no, I mean, I got the shotgun. That's what I mean. So I think somebody already has. Somebody already have the. Oh no! The sniper rifle. Yes, I was expecting that. So who killed me? Oh, what is killed me? So. Oh, it's Battle Royale, so let's spectate someone and then I can comment on a few things. So, oh, somebody else eliminated. So, okay, let's watch Irka playing here. So this is still the same. It's coming from the same implementation that we played last time publicly on the forest map, but it has a lot of optimizations, a lot of improvements, and besides the new map, right? So
yeah.
I have to say it feels really tight to play, and I promise we're gonna do another public playtest to aim for 100+ players. We don't have it scheduled yet, but we'll do. And we're taking the time to also polish although this is not an actual game that will be released, but we're doing our best to give some presentation polish that you can just get the demo and play it and you'll feel like a real game. And this is a very good exercise for us as well, because it lets us actually face the challenges that our customers, when they actually develop the games, the challenges that they face. So I think it's something very important when you build technology that is going to be used by other people, that you wear the clothes of those as well. So, okay, so let's see what happens here. Okay, that's the end of it. So who was the... Oh, was that Hamza then? Okay, Hamza, well done. So
well, I mean, it was about time to dethrone one of our devs on that, honestly.
We're missing a couple of guys here today, right? So so we're disconnecting here because the server was removed. So let's see if we're gonna get a new server. I don't see what the guys are saying yet. So let's see. Oh, so we have another one. Another battle royale on the map for 50. So this will give us, although it's not even 20 people, but it will give us some time to go around, I guess. It's a slightly bigger map. Interesting. Let's see if I can survive for a little bit longer this time.
Yeah, just like time your jump at the right time. I remember like first time I played this map, I just like literally killed myself on impact. That was a very, very quick game.
Yeah. Okay, let's see if the others, yeah, they're all jumping. 5, 6, 7, 8, and me. Okay, I'm gonna go for this area here. That's what I want because I think. I'll see. I'm already dead. It's impossible. I can't play this. So who is here? So this is a Gidio. So let's see how far he survives.
That's good.
Sorry.
Just blame it on the office distractions.
Yes. Yes. So okay, I'm curious about it. So okay, so it's switching the view. That's nice. So the mirror view, which is good for corners like this. I really liked the job done by Erick here on this procedurally generated map. It's not only lighter weight for a sample, right? So that you can check out the gameplay and the performance of all that. But it's actually quite nice to play because it has a lot of hideouts. It's the forest one required a lot more work from a actual level designer to make it feel good to play. This one is kind of, I don't know, it's a bit easier to prototype with this, and he did a great job in my opinion on this. So which is not, again, it's not our goal to have this like a balanced game, but he's a game developer, so he likes it. It's cool to see this.
Yeah, I mean, the goal with all of our samples is always like figure out what are the best patterns that we can then present.
This is a good pattern.
Well, maybe not the way you lose, but the way we developed it.
No, I mean the shooting that I just saw. Okay, so Egidio got eliminated, so let's follow Erick now. Some smoke around. So there's an area reduction, but he's already all inside, so the next steps, so it's cool. So I think I can see the, oh, there's only 3 people.
On the map, you actually see which area is about to get reduced.
So see this, we have Erick, we have Isaac, and we have Hinak. Let's see, okay, so this here is Hinak, and this is Isaac.
So, Joshua, this is a demo that will be made available to all Circle subscribers for Photon in, well, sometime soon. As usual, we don't give hard ATAs, of course, but it will be soon.
Hinak is camping here. He's waiting somewhere, and he's not going for the fight. Let's see what Isaac is doing now. I wanted to comment a bit about what you said also, Tim. So this is gonna be, so the full source code of this is planned to be for Gaming Circle subscribers, but it's important to mention a couple of things. So first, the add-on that we fully distribute now called KCC, our kinematic character controller that is available for everyone, is actually the character controller that's been used, that's in use here. It was developed for this sample and made it decoupled in a way that it can be extracted like a package. So it was designed to be that, so it could be shared as a package, but it's actually the exact same character controller. So if you go to our website, download the KCC package for Fusion, it's exactly what you are seeing in action here. So, and we're not yet sure about it, but the animation controller that's being done to match the character controller is also probably going to be shared to everyone, because we decided to go for a full custom without using any external asset for animation as well. So we'll probably be able to share it as well. But the full source code of this sample, as you said, it's gaming subscribers only. Gaming Circle. But I wanted to comment on this topic because the KCC part of this is already being shared with everybody, right? So the KCC is the one being used here.
Let's also, speaking about the animation one, just to set expectations a bit. This is still in the early stages, as there's a lot of work to be done, not only from the tick perfect aspect, but also for the tooling in order for you to properly interact with the controller rather than just through code.
Yes, and
So,
that's exactly why we have not yet shared anything on the animation side,
yeah.
because it's what is this here? So we have a 200. Oh no, plus false alarm. Let's not join that one. So yeah, and it's still a bit crude. Feature, I mean, it works really nicely. It's very tight, fully tick perfect animation for the lag compensation systems and everything. But of course, we're gonna take our time and make sure that when we share something, it's something that is gonna be cool to play. Oh.
So how big is the map? So the map that we're currently playing, Eric, how big is that exactly?
Can you ask that Erick, because I don't know exactly. I know that the biggest one, the 200 players, is 4 kilometers, I think. 4 by 4.
Yeah.
But this one here is the 50 player one. I don't know. So we would have to ask Erick. Yeah, of course, if you, I'm still playing. I have not died yet. So let's see this moving platform here. So I
emphasis on yet.
Yes, emphasis on yet. Someone else is there. Where can I go from here? Here. Where am I? Oh, I'm right at the edge. Cool. Are you coming here?
Oh shit, moving platform. So he did put that in after all.
Yeah, I talked with him a bit about it. So they're going. Of course, you always have compromises when you add those, but he's tried it too.
Mm.
Left. Are they?
So for those who don't know, moving platforms for a reason is something you don't really see often in multiplayer games, because there are fundamental challenges here, but that are of mathematical nature due to the dual timing involved. So this is a whole different subject we're not going to dive into today, of course.
Yeah, of course, and I died.
This
so
is
let's see, me and Hamza and Gideon. So let's see who we follow here. So who are we following here? Oh no! This is deathmatch. This is elimination. So I spawn back. Oh, so this is elimination with Storm. Nice. So let's get something from here. Some shield. Those sniping towers are nice. Oh, I heard someone from here. Oh, nah. Yeah, I mentioned that the sniping towers are nice. See what happens?
How big is
I die. Okay. Oh, I think I'm outside the storm. I'm going inside, so
we have a question from the chat here, Eric.
Yes.
So during the last stream, FO mentioned that the way spectating was handled was more efficient than just having the spectator being treated as a player. Can you go into details on that, or was that a
This is not what we are seeing here is a regular player. I'm a regular player that's just that because I died, I'm just now, so they just placing my computer camera to follow someone else, and of course the area of interest using that person's perspective. But this is, I'm actually playing as an actual player. So I think what Frederick mentioned was there is a way to do spectating that's way more effective, but that's not what is in play here. So I'm actually connected as a real player, and but one thing is still true, because when I'm following one of these characters, I'm not controlling them, so I don't have to receive all the data about them. I receive just a part of it, so positions and a few other things, and but I don't have to get all the data. So this is up to what the developer does with our interest management options. So I know that the character controller, for example, it's very efficient when you are receiving data about a proxy, and one of these spectator players that I'm spectating is actually just that, a proxy. So I see them as a proxy. So I only receive the data that I need to. So yeah, it really. Where am I? So if I go this way, it's fine. I have not killed anybody. Who's I don't know who's who is. Of course, I'm at last. Some score. I am eliminated now, so let's follow someone. So this is. Ah, I need melee. Let's take a look at the paper here. Oh, Gideon just stayed still. Nice one. Are you in first? Yes. Nice weapon. I can't do anything with any of these. It's good that we have this spectating, so we can see the perspective of these guys who actually know how to play. So,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I have to comment on one thing, by the way. So we are not testing with a lot of players, right? So it's about 10 or 11 here connected, 10 in this case. But we didn't have a single glitch this time, so the guys are really polishing this.
Yeah, I mean, right now we're just really wrapping it up so that it can be shared.
Yeah.
So everything's been pretty much, well, fixed as far as it can be.
Who is this two? Still have 4 players. So let's see where the other guys are. So this is Erick. So you see these glitches that we just saw. That's the animation controller that's not yet 100% polished. So Daniel. Let's take a look at Daniel playing here. So I'm gonna comment a bit about who these people are. So Daniel is the guy who develops our quantum physics engines and is the guy who now takes care of network rigid body, network transform, and also the lag compensation system in Fusion. So sometimes he has time to play games as well. So that's what he's doing here. That's Daniel here. Then we have here Irka, whose primary role is a sample gameplay developer. He's really a gameplay guy, and he's one of the developers of this very demo we're playing. So he should know this better than anyone, and he's the guy who developed the procedural generation stuff for these maps, and all the shooting and everything that was done by him. The character controller was done by Iri, his colleague. I don't know if Iri is playing. So this is Hinak. He's not part of our SDK teams, but another guy from our team who really enjoys playing games as well. So he joined us today. This here, Daniel again. So these are the guys who are alive. So we have a lot of others here, but these are the ones who are still playing. So let's see. Let's follow. So Hinak is always camping, right? So he's not going for the fight. I'm gonna complain to him about this later.
Yeah, I mean, when you see him in the office, for sure.
Yeah.
So we got a couple more questions coming in here.
Go ahead.
One from Andre is, how do we exactly handle Projectile? Do we spawn network objects for each of them? Well, I mean, of course we don't. That would be way too much data. Yeah. But what are some of the techniques that you've seen utilized, or if you know the ins and outs of this one, maybe what is the approach that we have here?
This is a very good question. So there is a pinned message on our public Discord and also in our internal circle Discord where I devised like 5 ways to handle projectiles, from the most basic and obvious one, which is spawning a network object for a projectile, which is okay for games where you don't have a lot of projectiles and where you want to have a lot of nice prediction or stuff. It's just convenient to do, but it's not the most efficient way. And then it goes all the way to having, for example, storing an array of projectile structs that you use as a ring buffer for the projectiles to instantiate, and you can store these per player. So say each one of these players can have an array of up to 100 bullets that they can have in the air at the same time. I would say 100 is even too much, so you don't need that much. But maybe you have something like 40 or yeah, 48 would be enough. And basically you can go for... I like to be as efficient as possible, so I would like to do something... I would do something like store just the initial position and direction of the projectile, and you compute everything on the clients from that data to have a trace and a visual representation of it. And on the server, that's going to compute the hit, and on the client who shot that shot, you use full prediction to predict the hit and damage as well if you want. So that's normally the most efficient way of doing it. The other super efficient way of doing it is just having a projectile counter, because then on the server and on the client who's shooting, you can have a precise projectile trace, but on the proxies, you basically check whatever is the direction the player had. When you receive the new counter value, and you instantiate as many traces as you need, because you might not need that much precision in the shots you see from other people unless they shoot you.
Particularly true for anything that's raycast, right? Because I mean, it's instantaneous, so the visual feedback is just that you trigger the feedback using the counter. That's it. And
because you're going to receive the shot data from the server anyway, if that shot is going to hit you, you're going to have the data about it when the first moment you are able to do anything about that data, you would already have, I think either the game ended, I think, or maybe they disconnected the server. So then it would not feel anything like a delay in that. I mean, because as soon as you receive data from the server saying that someone is shooting that shot, if it's that aiming at you, it's at the same time you are probably receiving also the damage report, so it doesn't really matter to see the trace when you are already being shot at, because you're already getting the shot. But I would say the one that you share, the initial trajectory of the projectile, is the best overall, in my opinion. And that's one of the techniques I describe in that thing. I think the best to ask here would be to ask... so are we going for this one now?
So at this point, we can also tease a little bit of something. While we won't have the Fusion Battle Royale demo in source code available to everybody, we are currently building a projectiles demo where all of these different types of projectiles and techniques are illustrated. And that will be, of course, a bit further down the road here, but we will be tackling kinematic projectiles, ballistic projectiles, raycasts.
But we should, but because this question was asked during the playtest here, Tim, I think it's nice that we ask Irka to add a few comments about this later, because he's busy playing now and he's not in the call. But let's ask him to add a few comments, and we can share this in our Discord.
That's a good idea.
As soon as he does it, and of course, when we do the public playtest, I can do again. I can invite Irka to take part of the stream, as he did actually on the first one that I did before, and then he can answer this very question, explaining how he did the projectiles on this particular set.
So there's another thing here that we got asked, and the new animator controller that we're using here is the reason for this perfect tick niceness, as was said.
The KCC is already tick nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, the animations are tick accurate. So if I have my arm here, and you see my arm here and you shoot at my arm, that's what's going to be computed at the server, because the server has the tick accurate animation, and the lag compensation accounts for that exactly. So the whole technique is as good as you can get. It's exactly how you would do in a competitive shooter.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a combination of all the things, right? So it's a combination of tick accurate everything. Can I jump this? I think I can do this, and then oh damn, no, I'm not gonna be able to because I'm gonna die before that. Oh no, made a mistake. Think I have anything here anymore? I do. Oh, someone died here. Is that a better weapon? I think so.
Get their weapons.
Yeah, this is much better. But I need to find someone to shoot at. Excellent.
So, how do we synchronize the names of the players is being asked. So
It's just a string.
yeah,
That your
so
network
do we use the network string in this one, or do we use RPCs?
string. It's a network string. It's only changed once. So the
Yeah.
server sets the nickname once, it's transferred once, and never anymore. So that's it. RPCs are always a bad option for this. Yeah, I know. You're gonna try, right? But no, you're not gonna get me. Sorry, Hinak. And some. These shooting, these sniper towers are nice. It's too fast for me. Oh, there's someone else there. I don't have any ammo anymore.
I'm curious to see which texture he used for the blocks, because it seems very familiar to me.
This is probably a CC0 type of texture, or maybe it's something we're gonna replace before sure. Okay. I've been live long enough. So this one is closed. Try to find nicer weapon. I don't... you can know these maps, so it's unfair.
Well, I mean, aren't they procedurally generated for each?
No, not every match. I think we pre-generate. He has the. At least I suggested him to do this. I'm not sure if this is being procedurally generated every time differently, or if he using the procedural generation to recreate these maps, because you see that we have the I don't know, minimaps and some pictures of them when you choose the maps, but I don't know, I have to ask him, because both options are possible, right? So and
Yeah.
I even suggested him to actually use the pre-procedurally generated version, because he could light map them, but I know that he did not light map. They're not light mapped, but maybe he's still doing the pre-generated version.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure which one it is. So we got another question here regarding, of course, the mode it runs in, and that's eventual consistency.
This is eventual consistency because of interest management, so you have too many players to play this in Delta Snapshot. So It's eventual consistency with interest management all the way. This is running on a dedicated server.
Delta snapshot. That's the important part.
Yes, no
either, yeah.
It's either delta snapshots or eventual consistency. This one here is eventual consistency.
Oh, we have an example in there with delta snapshots. I thought the whole demo was an eventual consistency.
I think we do have a few of the samples in delta snapshots. I think the card sample is delta snapshots.
Oh yes, no, I'm speaking about this one in particular.
No, I think they're all eventual consistency.
And some people suggest that the texture might be from ProBuilder, since that's also the same that we have in the Fusion sample scene. That's actually a very good catch, most likely.
Yeah, if it is, we will not distribute it, I guess, right?
ProBuilder has been bought by Unity, and it's actually integrated in Unity by default.
Oh, okay, so it's probably that.
Yeah. I mean, that purchase happened a year ago, I believe. So it's fairly recent, but I mean, it's definitely really convenient to rapidly prototype stuff, especially meshes and whatnot.
Yeah. I need to get to one of those towers. I'm not paying attention to the playing. Oh no. Didn't have a nice enough. Okay, I'm now dead. No, I'm still respawning. Okay, kill me. I want that. I am so bad at game.
So will Quantum have a free version? Well,
yes.
Good one.
The answer is yes. There is no.
That's great, but
the answer is yes. When? Not sure yet, but we're working towards it.
Yeah.
It's been a topic since day one, and now we're getting closer and closer to that. So we're trying to get for the next major version. So that's the plan. So we're working on the next major version now, and the plan is to have it a free access to it somehow. I don't know yet, but yes, Quantum will be free. I mean, free to develop for.
Yeah.
Of course, you still have to run the games live within Photon Cloud, but that's a nice pistol. But I don't want to actually. That's a nice pistol. I'm still respawning because this is a deathmatch, right? So it's not an elimination. So where's my pistol? Here. So I think I do have. Oh. We should offer an option to just join as a spectator first minute. I'm gonna ask the guys to do that, because then I can comment without having to worry playing. I can jump really high. That was not me. Sorry. I shot at you, but it was not me. I'm sorry. I did not kill you. Then who's player 0815?
Ooh. That's
oh yeah, we have more people in now. Let's see what we get here. It's not nice enough, but I'm in last. Yes, of course. How's the score here? Any kills? 24. Okay, that's the end of it. So 25 kills, that's the end of. Ooh.
That reminds me of the old free-for-all in Halo.
Yeah, exactly. So let's see what's next. That's the finished game.
So, some people are pointing out your esports worthy skills, and I think that's exactly, what we're doing here. We were just promoting our esports team to get ready for the next big competition.
Well, no, we cannot do a. Well, maybe I can be the guy who brings the coffee. Or the guy who says, "Hey, look, it's a trap." But that's it. So, what are the guys saying in our private chats? Are they still?
Well, basically, they have done playtesting everything that they needed to find out. So
Yes,
it's
that's
up
right.
to you to call it a day or not.
Can you ask if Irka would like to join us for just to answer that question, because I think that would make it complete. I can create a server here, play alone, just so. But ask him if he can join us on our call here. I think I can. You can share with him the password for this chat, and let's see if we can hear him here, and then we can ask him the question. That would be nice.
Yes, you will have to add him as a separate source though in that case.
Is it okay? So let me do that then. So that's
let's see what he has time to jump on the call first.
Yes. So invite a guest. Copied. I asked him.
All right,
he has a moment,
so he will be joining us momentarily.
I sent him the password for the voice chat.
So okay, we got here another question. Somebody's coming here to Fusion from Pun because, well, Fusion offers, client-side prediction and reconciliation, interpolation, and all that nice stuff out of the box.
Yep.
And the question Carty's asking us is, okay, that's working in client server mode, but how about shared mode?
Okay, so in shared mode, we don't have tick accurate prediction like we do in client server mode, because it's a lot different, right? So when you give a client authority to send stuff up, it's his own timing, so it cannot be doing like in a predicted timing. We have to accept whatever the client is saying when you have client authority. So for that reason, we decided that we would not go for the full tick-based predict rollback client-side prediction, which also is kind of like very expensive when you do for all objects. So it's not the kind of thing you do for. It's not the kind of thing you do for games. You go for shared mode in general, or things you do in shared mode. But that said, shared mode in Fusion has a lot more features out of the box than Pun. Like it does interest management, so you actually have server-side interest management with area of interest. So you only receive data about objects that are close to you if they have a transform source of area of interest and that kind of thing. But you can still do prediction, because objects you receive, like proxies, we still call fixed update network in them when you're doing a new forward tick. So you can do forward prediction with those, and the data is going to be replaced by server data anyway that comes from the Photon cloud when the state authority for that object sends new data. So you can do, but it's not the same with a perfect tick accurate that you can do in client server, because that's normally what you do in a demo or game like this one here, which is a like on a competitive grade, super high frequency. But first, welcome Irka. Can you hear us?
I can hear you. Hi.
And we can hear you just fine as well. So you're
Perfect.
you don't need the camera, because we didn't add a third camera slot in here, but
Perfect.
everybody can hear you fine. And we had a question here that was definitely for you, and that's why we invited you to join now. So Tim, can you please ask again the question about Projectile?
Yeah. So the big question here again turns back to the topic of projectile, since, well, in these kind of games you tend to have a lot flying around at any given time. So, and the question was, how do we handle projectiles in this current context? Do we spawn network objects for each bullet, or what are the techniques that you have utilized to make it work for the Battle Royale demo here in Fusion?
So it depends on game design. Here we opted for hitscan projectiles, hitscan weapons mostly. Only grenades and crossbow with the arrow is actually kinematic projectile. And with the hitscan projectile, it's quite easy actually. You just remember the data for the projectile. You do not spawn the actual network object or anything. And based on the data you remembered, you will spawn a dummy, basically dummy flying bullet. But it's just a dummy. It's not a network object.
I have one further thing for you to comment on that following that, Irka. So what you mean here is that a player, because it's a hit scan and it's instant, you are saying that a particular player only shoots one of those. So where do you store the data to tell that there is a projectile going out from this player, and what kind of data that is?
Yeah, so for each projectile we store several vectors. First is the destination, then there is the impact, and we also store impact tag hash, which is basically just
headshot or not or so.
No. It's a hash of the tag of the surface that you hit. So, for example, if you hit wood, we need to know if we should spawn like a wood impact.
Because you compute that on the server, so it doesn't matter if, for example, the trace on the client is a crazy trace. The actual hit dust that goes out, hit impact, is going to be the right type of decal.
Yeah, exactly. And we store this data, we call this like projectile data structure. We store it in a ring buffer, basically just an array that goes on, and we store it
per player or global?
We store it currently per weapon, but it could be also for player globally. So
but because it's per weapon, is it subject to area of interest or interest management in general as well?
Well, yes, because the weapon is copying the area of interest of the player, so it's the same.
Nice.
But we, for example, do not have, and that would be a really nice addition. So when you shoot, for example, for on some player, we should probably add this player into the other player's area of interest.
We're watching you, so get the crossbow. Yes. We're watching you on the spectating mode. So you're commenting and playing.
I must say, I'm just walking around when talking. So
yeah, but you get the crossbow.
I haven't watched really.
So this one is ballistic. Oh no, you're not. Don't die.
Oh shit!
Don't kill your cat.
Yeah. Let's move here.
Better. Yep.
Oh, we have high hopes for your skills, given that you actually know how it's working under the hood.
yeah, I know the tricks.
Oh, there's a camper up there.
Well, I mean, we just mentioned a bit about the things related to area of interest and everything. And one of the other questions that we have here in the chat is, what's a reasonable upper limit to, the player number for games running an eventual consistency with or without area of interest? But there's basically no instance where you wouldn't use it if you already...
If you don't wanna use interest management, you go for DS. You go for the data snapshots, because that's gonna have better performance for sending the data and also better compression. But if you, the reason, but the question, I would say it's 16 or so players for DS. It depends on amount of data you push that changes. But on EC, it's a much higher limit. So there are two aspects here. It's player density. It's how many players you have on the same region that are receiving data about each other. And there's the limiting factor of the performance of the server depending on the number of players you have. So we're basically building a demo here that we test up to 200 connections and players. But depending on if you lower the tick rate to 30, we don't know. Maybe you can go to 400, 500. I don't wanna say any of these numbers. You guys test and see how much you can do, and we'll keep optimizing and seeing how up we can go. But this is important to mention. This thing here runs at full 60 ticks per second, and we're rating it for very high player counts. It's not tricky 20 hertz. No, it's full 60 all the time. Are you still around, Irka?
Yes, I'm here.
Do you have one more for Tim? Tim,
Yeah,
you have one more for Irka?
More here. A couple more questions coming in. Well, that are, you know, not necessarily related to the demo itself, but more adjacent. So, of course, we know, you know, that you can host a server with Fusion. And the question being here, can it be hosted with Photon, or do we need to find something else like PlayFab or multiplayer?
And
then
we gotta crash.
You need a hosting provider, which we are not.
Yes, for dedicated servers, you need a hosting provider, which we are not. But if you're doing, let's say, a survival game, kind of like Valheim, or yeah, this map is crashing for me, Irka. It looks like it's running for the server, but this one is crashing for me.
Okay.
I don't know why, but I can get the logs for you later, of course. But
okay, that would be nice.
So I'll not join it because of that. Then
I will start a different one.
But yeah, so like, I mean, then again, the question is really always, do you need to have a dedicated server? Like, as long as you're not doing something that has to be persistent regardless of who is currently there, or whether you're doing something competitive, most games can run perfectly fine in host client mode.
Yeah, player hosted. I mean, of course, if you want to have a like super high player count, the player host option might not be the best, because of the bandwidth of the player, and the experience of the other players is going to depend on the quality of the network and the computer of the guy hosting the game. But for many kind of titles, like these little survival games for not super high player counts, just go for player hosted. It's a very cost-effective option, and it works really well, especially for co-op kind of games. We're working on another TPS that will be shared as a sample that with a studio. Irk is also helping with that, right? So that one is meant to be player hosted at first, I think. So, let's see. Any more questions, Tim?
Yeah, we have one more, but that's not really about Fusion. It's we're circling back to Quantum. So I'm not sure whether we want to take that now or a bit later.
I can answer while you get new ones.
All right, cool. Well, this one, I mean, it's a question that we get a lot, but how does Quantum prevent cheating if there is no authoritative server?
Because it's deterministic. So basically, someone trying to cheat by making himself move faster on his computer is not going to affect the way he moves on the other computers. He's just drifting his own simulation from the main simulation that everybody else is playing. And because so the only thing that's actually sent through the servers that reaches everybody is the input, which are your intentions, saying, I want to move right, I want to move left, I'm pressing now the button to shoot. So that's the only thing you send, which is the same as you send on a client-server game. And in determinism, it's simulation authority. So whatever the simulation has, it's what you get. And then how can you extract the correct true game results? You do not trust the clients for that. So what you do is, the point in Quantum is that you can start just by having the implementation as it is, but then you can add as you go, as your game becomes successful, you can start actually not getting any results from the client, but actually using the benefits that determinism give you, which are, you store the replay, and then you can validate the full result of the matches by running the replay in batch mode without even using Unity, just running the simulation against the input stream that was actually used in the game. And you can run that on a machine of yourself in the background post-fact to fully validate the game result with the simulation as authority. You can even go all the way to having the actual simulation fully running on a server, and in this case we do provide you a solution for running the simulation on the Photon server itself with a custom Photon Server plugin. If you go for enterprise and so on. So you have a range of options going from first, just implement your game, and then you can start adding these safety checks that give you 100% competitive safety protection as you go without having to change anything on your simulation, because everything is based on this deterministic simulation from day one. The only thing that determinism does not solve is perfect information. So you can have, of course, map hacks when you have a deterministic game. So that's out of the scope of determinism. So depending on the game you're trying to do, if information hiding plays a really important role, then it might not be the best option for you. It's always a trade-off, right?
So we got here another question that's about, well, the server here that's running the
server
current
specs,
game.
yeah.
So I don't remember the exact specs, but I believe it was an i9 and it was running on one thread, wasn't it?
Like my computer, or
The one that's the one that you are running the servers now. Is it your
Yeah.
computer?
It's my computer, and
Okay.
it's like i3, couple years old. So
That's
it's
a
not...
cool one. So it is an i3, 2 years old. Okay.
Yeah, several years. It's not like 2.
So we've been playing all this time, even when we're playing all these people. It was your i3, right?
Yes, and
Nice,
I'm
yeah.
playing as well, so it needs to handle also my my
Yeah, and you're
rendering.
playing as a host. So this
Yeah.
so that's a very good. This is a plot twist on the stream here. So we normally play test with a dedicated server running on a nice i9 when we're shooting for 100 plus players. But I did not know this, I swear. But this was all the time running on Irka's machine as player hosted with him playing. So it's host mode, it's not even dedicated server. So
Yes.
Cool, super cool. That answers really well the question about can you hold a game like this on a player hosted? Yes, you can. On an i3. Nice. I don't know what kind of video card you have though. I cannot join this game, Irka. I don't know why. Maybe my it's okay. I can create one here just to. Oh, you're starting a new one. So
Yeah, I will start a new one.
do a small one now, and then we can call it a day. I cannot join these 200 player ones. I don't know why. It doesn't.
Yeah,
So the join game button does not show.
Yeah, it's probably aborted game, so it's locked.
Oh, okay. Oh, so you have a 120 here now. I can join this one. Yes. Server connection. Okay, let's go. Of course, I'm gonna be. Is this elimination or deathmatch again?
Deathmatch.
Who's in? Who's in? Oh, just you. No.
Yes,
We need more targets.
I think the guys already left, so.
Oh no.
Yeah, so there. Well, so running this as a player-hosted game on the machine Yinka just described is pretty awesome. But they also interject. So, well, I mean, it's still shitty if the host leaves. That's where host migration comes into play.
Yes. We're working on the. We finished the API for host migration already. But we are focusing right now on finishing the console libraries, and that's why we have not done anything with the host migration publicly yet. But it is actually implemented, and we're gonna tackle it next to have a sample and we're gonna test a lot, and then we're gonna share it as a sample. But in short, the way host migration is gonna work is because it's really not possible to do that 100% automatically, right? So I'll explain why. So the basic point is when you implement your own game in client server mode, you always, this is kind of like you don't even think about it, but what happens is that you end up creating data structures that are hidden, that are not part of the network game state. So for example, you store a list of players in your server that is not a network property or something like that. So no matter what we send to the Photon Cloud as the network game state to be able to host migrate later, we cannot guess these kinds of data structures that you implemented yourself in your own scripts in your server on Unity. So it's impossible for us to know about that data. We're not getting the memory of your Unity process and sending it somewhere, right? So it's not possible. And so the way we approach the host migration here is this. So the server is constantly sending the full game state to the Photon cloud when you enable host migration. You don't have to use it, but if you enable it, you will be keep sending the full game state in intervals. It's not going to be 60 hertz. It's going to be a lower interval. And what happens when a host leaves is the Photon cloud is going to elect a new host and send the last version of the game, full game state he had from the original host server to the new host. And it's going to also tell all the other clients, hey, the host died, but there will be a new host soon. So you already receive callbacks to show the players that there is a host migration going on. And then when the host receives the new state, you have full access to that game state, and you can traverse it, reinitialize game objects based on the game state you receive, but it's going to be something you are going to have full control of how you do it. So basically you can mirror the original game state that was on the server yourself. I think this is also super important because sometimes you have games that are based on levels, and maybe when you host migrate, you don't want to restart the game exactly where it was. Maybe you want to get the basic and as how it was, and maybe you want to reset to that level so everybody can start from that round and so on, right? So you're gonna have a lot of flexibility on how you handle your host migration. You could just snap it as it was if you have a clean and small game state, or you can revert it a little bit more and do your own thing. So that's the approach. And we're gonna work on a demo to show how you use that API. And as I said, the API is ready. It's just that we are doing first things first, and right now we are finishing the console libraries. They're all built, by the way. So we have customers trying Xbox and PlayStation 4 and 5 now. We already are sharing these libraries with people from the gaming circle community. So that's what I can say right now. And other than that, you guys are going to be able to test that soon.
Yeah. And so that actually also answers another question that's been asked in the chat. The API is basically ready, but it's not public, meaning it hasn't been implemented in the demo here either.
Yes, it's not. Yes, this demo is really meant for dedicated servers. The fact that Erick is running it here on a player host, it's just nice to see, but it's not a design goal for this particular sample.
Yeah. So there is a different question, and that's probably more important for Delta Snapshot than it is for EC. But so how does the MTU setting that you can have in your project impact the amount of data being sent, and how do you choose the right setting?
I think the MTU is there mostly for testing and so on. You should definitely keep it as high as possible, because Fusion is not gonna go above that MTU, and we do not do any scheduling for now. What happened? That is basically the setting that we use for fragmenting packets. So if you have more data than that to send, we basically send it over multiple packets, but we're always going to send the data that needs to be sent now. So the actual way to control the bandwidth is to use area of interest and the other forms of interest management, like interest groups and so on. But
so that means the advice that we can give people to choose the right size, so to speak, is
keep it
whatever
as it
is the highest standard size they can use, and keeping whatever they need to send below that threshold so that they don't have to fragment it.
It's basically keep the one we have it there. We have it there because we can test with different values to see how the performance goes, but just keep the default one that we have there, which is, I think it's 1132 right now for the relayed connections, and I forgot the value for when the direct connections are used.
All right. So that covers everything that's been asked in chat so far.
So
Is there
you're checking all
anything?
the chats, right? So
Yes.
Discords and yeah, cool. We had some quite cool questions. Thanks a lot for the questions. It's always nice. And Eric, I want to say a couple things here that I said in the stream before you joined us. So first, it's a double kudos here because first, you guys worked a lot on this since the last time. It's playing really tight. We, except for the crash that we recently had, unfortunately, we hadn't had a single glitch for almost 1 hour or so. That was really great to see on a early demo like this still. And also the map generation, as I already told you privately, it looks super cool and it has so many hideouts. It's a nice thing to play. Do you want to comment on the procedural generation here?
Well, that was just an idea to create such a level, and I was always like, Yeti was in charge of creating the map before, which was called Hills, and it was like 1 kilometer or above 1 kilometer in diameter, and I told him, hey, it's just like a plains. You need to add there some verticality and some hideouts, etc. But it's so hard to do in such large map. It's like a month of work,
Yeah.
So it's impossible for us. So I had this idea of generate the map every run, and when you actually approached us, hey, we should probably do white box level map, I was like, yay, let's do this.
Yes, so it was your cue to get in.
So
Yeah,
this is, do I understand you correctly that the map is being generated for every game, or is it
Yes.
pre-generated?
It is generated for every game.
Oh, nice. Another plot twist here. Because I commented that I did not know that. I knew that the tool was capable of it, but I wasn't sure if you had pre-generated these or I got my weapon.
Yeah, I mean, Jirge and I spoke about that the other day in a different context, so I thought, having understood that it wasn't pre-generated.
And the other thing, it's can you comment on these moving platforms? I'm not gonna interrupt you. Just go for it.
Yeah, okay, so moving platforms, quite a problematic topic, especially because you have double timing based on if you are in if two players are on the moving platform, one player is like input authority and is moving in the predicted time, and the proxies are in snapshot interpolation, so they are a little bit behind. What we did here, or actually what Yiri did here, is actually it's a feature of the KCC. So when you are jumping onto the moving platform, you are actually moving from the proxy is moving from the snapshot interpolated time into the predicted time of the moving platform. It's a little bit complex topic, but it's done smoothly. You won't notice it, but you are moving predictively with the platform, and when you jump out of it, you are interpolated
You
back
go back
into
to
the
snapshot interpolation timing, but
exactly.
you smoothly transition between these two.
Yeah.
And can you comment how this affects the accuracy of the shooting?
Yeah, so obviously there is a difference when shooting, either from the origin of your shots or when someone is shooting at you. So the lag compensation is different there. We haven't touched it because we just played it and we are like, okay, it's only on the moving platforms. It's fine. You still can hit the player.
Yeah,
so
it's the difference is it also depends on the ping, right? So it's not going to be like a law, but yeah, it's not as accurate as when you were outside of it.
Yeah. The solution that I had, and I think you would work nicely, and I told you about that, so when you are moving or the proxy is in the snapshot interpolated time, it's using the lag compensation, but when it's moving predictively, it will switch from the lag compensated colliders into standard unity ones. Therefore, the hit detection that you actually as an input authority get is totally precise. There is just, so you will hit where you see the player, which is the predicted time. And there is only this transition where you need to switch those colliders. This is only part where it wouldn't be totally precise, but that could also be actually somehow interpolated. But
Yeah, yeah, it's a totally cool solution. This thing about like moving from lag compensated to non-lag compensated because you have full predicted proxies in this case, right? So it's quite cool.
And you
yeah,
actually from Projectile's perspective, you don't have to do anything extra because we already are shooting the raycast, including the default unit is physics. So
yeah. So basically, you can
just
react based on what what you hit, if that was supposed to be an actual hit or not, right?
well, basically the agent itself knows if he's on moving platform or not, and
Yeah, exactly.
he will just turn on and off.
Oh yeah, you explained to me. You turn on and off either the lag compensated or the other one.
Yeah, exactly.
And then the hits are gonna hit only the one that's actually enabled right now. That's quite a clever solution. So I'm really curious to see what people think about this. This is really tight. This is not, you don't see this in every game, honestly. It's really interesting. Cool. Any more, Tim?
Well, yeah. So we have here a semi-statement question. This demo will definitely be available as a dedicated server in eventual consistency mode. That's the whole point of it.
Yeah.
But then there's a part, and I think this is more of a misunderstanding. Shared mode doesn't have eventual consistency.
Shared mode is eventual consistency all the time. It doesn't have delta snapshots.
Right. But
so
that's
shared mode is always eventual consistency.
Okay.
It's the opposite.
So even though, so we call it eventual consistency because, well, you don't have full state authority for any given client.
No, that's not what eventual consistency means. What eventual consistency means is that when the server sends data the server only sends data that changed. So data on network objects that changed. And this is sent unreliably, and if you do not receive a certain data about that object, it's not guaranteed that you will ever receive that. If there is a new version of the same network object, that's what the server is going to send. It doesn't care to send the intermediate values anymore. Basically,
right.
You're going to receive. So you eventually have, as in English, not in other languages, right? So you eventually have the correct state on about that the client was supposed to have. It doesn't mean that you're always going to have the full state because you may have loss in the middle. So you eventually receive some data that you should have received, but it's not guaranteed that you're always going to receive in time. But it does work in time most of the time. So this is the classic definition since 25 years ago of what eventual consistency means. It is the mod, if not mistaken, right? But this is the transportation data transportation mode that was popularized by the Tribes networking paper back in the, I think, late 90s or early 2000s. So this is what this means. Whereas delta snapshots mean that you are computing a delta over a big chunk of you are sending data that is encoded knowing that you have past data. So for example, I know you have certain data about frame 100 and I'm now encoding frame 105, so I can delta encode the new data for frame 105 against the data I know you have, which is 100, and that can give us very good compression. That's what delta snapshots do.
Yeah.
In our case, it's full delta snapshots. When you use delta snapshots, it's always about the full game state. We only give interest management features if you're using eventual consistency. That was a deliberate choice. And it fulfills really well what people need to do. It's these two models are meant for different things.
Cool. And then we have one more question, and that is, well, not 100% fusion specific in my opinion, but the question is there a good way to increase timeout since some players who are living far away get kicked off the server by the default settings? What can be tweaked to, balance that out to an extent, and what might be the downsides?
I'm not sure that's an easy answer. I mean, we don't kick
No, it's
anybody
not.
out because of ping. And I'm not even sure if you're talking about the connection to the Photon cloud or the connection that Fusion handles, which is the direct connections in most cases. But so I'm not sure. But we do not kick people because of ping. We may kick people if there is so much network loss that you stop answering, so you time out, and it's quite high. It's 5 seconds or so. So it's really difficult that you really have to be on a very bad network for you to get disconnected because of that, right? So it's difficult to solve that case. We're talking about gaming, right? So you really want to play with a lower ping as low as possible. But yeah, if you have a specific case, reach out to us on email and with actual logs and so on, because I'm not sure if you're talking about the Photon cloud connection or. Oh, cool. So we have our last questions or not, Tim?
That is everything that we have till this point on our chats. And I think we've pretty much covered everything regarding, well, the Fusion BR demo, of course, and much more in the meantime.
And I'd like to say a special thanks to Erick here for joining us at the end and answering his questions firsthand with the stuff that he built. So
no problem, thanks.
Oh no. Okay, I think that's it. Let's call it a day for now, and let's plan for a public playtest again here. This is playing really nice, so let's see when we can do that.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So see you guys. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Tim, your time to say your goodbye and.
Well, everybody, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you at the next Photon Insider stream. Till then.
Okay, so I'm Erick. I was your host for today. It's not always going to be that. And thanks a lot for watching us. Thanks again, Tim, for joining me. It's boring to talk alone, so it was great to have you on board. And yeah, see you guys next time then. Bye-bye.